Hey, welcome back to Star Technology, where in the last video, we got all of these solar panels going as the main solution to be going forwards with for all of our power problems. Speaking of solar panels, you guys told me that I didn't need the energy pipes, I just needed them all on a line and connect them to a flux plug, so that works. And also I said at the end of last video that I could have just made the next tier of solar panels, but IV assembler, that's gonna take a little while. And most notably, IV circuit assembler, because that takes, LUV chips. So, no. These are quite a while away. But anyway, in the process of making these solar panels, I needed IV chips. So, I'm pretty much in IV now. Meaning we've got a lot of things to be getting on with. And as per usual, the first thing that you need to do when entering a new power stage is to get access to that power and probably the energy hatch so that you can use the power to upgrade the things you have. And hopefully that's not going to take so long. Because energy hatches tend to be a bit complicated, but it shouldn't be that bad. So first up, I need the energy converter. And that's very simple. Just IV chips, shellite wires, and IV machine hull. I can probably get the IV machine hull already. I think I've got platinum cables, and yeah, IV machine casing, super easy. In fact, I already have a recipe for the machine hull. Not the machine casing though, but I can make that. And I also need a recipe for tungsten steel plates. And there, I can just make an IV machine hull. While that's going, I need to get another IV chip, and 8 more shellite ingots. And that shellite's gonna take quite a while. That's all I'll need for the energy converter. I'll grab the machine hull just to complete the quest. And I guess if I'm already waiting for the cabling, I can try and make some of these other machines. I think the main one is the assembler. Oh, that's going to be expensive. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of work. Okay, looks like I'm going to need a lot of graphene as well. So that's carbon, silicon, graphite. Do I have graphite? If not, I can just get it from diamond. I have a bit. It doesn't seem like the easiest thing to get a recipe for, so it's something that I'm just going to have to make myself. Macerating diamond ore and then centrifuging that gives me 2 rolls at getting graphite, so maybe I get a couple stacks out of this. But that's just one of the things I need, so I'm just going to set up a hopper to keep that going on its own while I go do other things. I already have a ton of graphite. It's only a 14% chance, and then an 11% chance whenever I centrifuge it. Okay, graphite's probably not a problem. I don't really need that much for graphene either, so that goes in the mixer on 1. So I'll just make some of this to trigger the quest, and apparently I didn't even need it for the assembler. So is graphene wire different? No. Well then I may as well make those recipes to get the graphene wire. So I think it might be in my best interest right now to just make a recipe for all of the IV components, because I'm gonna need a lot of them. And they're not terribly complicated, just kind of expensive. But the electric motor's simple enough, just, yeah, expensive. Conveyor module is very easy. I just need a recipe for 1 times tungsten cables. The piston, I'm still going to need to make the tungsten steel gear myself. I should probably make an extruder thing for it, actually. I can do that now. I'll get onto that in a minute. Robot arm is also kind of simple now that I've got the electric motor. And the pump is the annoying one. But I know I'm going to need it. So that should be all of the IV components with recipes now. And in that time, the shellite ingots are done. I'm just going to queue up 30 more of them just to make wiring and things, because I know I'm going to need a lot of it. But I'll just make the shellite wires, make them into 4 times, and then there's the energy converter. Although, it didn't trigger the quest because I forgot to grab the 1 times wires. So I just gotta wait until I get 1 more ingot and then I can keep going. I guess I can still make the elite assembler in this time. Oh right, I didn't make the recipe for tungsten steel gears. I'm gonna need to make an extruder mold for small gears, grab an input bus, and a pattern provider. And I think I've run out of space on the top bit here. Or the front, rather. Unless... Can I just move a maintenance hatch? Ah, I have to fix it. That's not that bad. But now I should have the small gear recipe. so I can make the assembler. And all of that's going to take a little while to craft. Right, some of the shellite's done now, so I can get the wire and actually complete that quest, but I'm still waiting on the assembler. Okay, I've got all of the components now. I'm just waiting on the last bit of tungsten steel for the machine hull. And there we go. Elite Assembler. So, now I can set this up somewhere. I feel like this platform's already a bit too crowded. Do I make a new platform? Maybe I expand this platform? Yeah, that could work. So, I think I'm just going to expand this platform to the side. I don't need to make a second one. Because if the platform's doing more or less the same thing, I don't think it matters. There we go. Don't forget to expand this one out too. And then there we go, we've got an expanded platform. I'm thinking I might move some of the existing machines, just so they're not quite so cramped. That can be something I do in my own time. I'll just make a new bridge so that it kind of fits. And it's lit up enough. I can deal with extra decoration in my own time. Anyway, I just need to get this down. Doesn't really matter where things go for now. Now, why is this not working? It's connected to power. The converter should be fine. The wire's connected. Maybe I just need a relog. Yep, that's fixed it. Okay, now I have an IV assembler. So, what else do I need now to get the energy hatch? I need an HPIC wafer. Anything else in here? I have sodium, potassium, insane voltage coil, iridium wire. So I need an iridium ingot. I have argon, so I can do it quickly. I need RTM alloy coils, but iridium is here. Yep, rarest metal mixture with hydrochloric acid can make iridium metal residue. I have a ton of that rarest metal mixture. I don't think I have to worry about wasting too much of it. So I need 4 buckets of hydrochloric acid. And it doesn't matter which of these I put it in, but that should make me iridium metal residue. Then that just centrifuges into iridium chloride. There we go. And then that with hydrogen in the chemical reactor makes iridium dust. And I can already tell this is not a great conversion rate. That was 7 rarest metal mix for 1 iridium dust. Oh boy. So I'm going to want to make a recipe for all of this. So let's see, if I want 10 iridium dust, it should just go down the line. It'll take a while, but it'll make me the iridium dust. And it should just make 1 out of the gate so I can complete the quest. Or not, because it's decided to do the rarest metal mixture first. So I'll just get that to manually do the other recipe. And there, iridium dust. So I'll wait until I get a few more bits of iridium before I go much further. But back to the energy hatch. I've got the machine hull, I've got the tungsten cables, and the insane voltage coil shouldn't be that hard now that I've got iridium. So yeah, the HPIC chip. And there should be... yeah, there's a big quest line. Oh boy. So, starting with galena and sphalerite. I've already done the sphalerite accidentally, so I'll just do the galena now. I think they both need to be purified. Then indium concentrate. Yeah, both purified with sulfuric acid. 4 buckets of sulfuric acid. Then that with aluminium. It makes a small pile at a time, I guess. And it's no better in the LCR. So I'll do that. And then just a crafting recipe to combine. I'm out of patterns. And then it says I should just be able to make it. Oh no, indium gallium phosphide. And liquid vanadium gallium? The MPIC wafer I can already get. I also need the indium gallium phosphide. That was another one of the quests. Do I really not have a recipe for any of those? And then liquid vanadium gallium, how do I get that? Extract from the ingot? Oh, just vanadium and gallium. That's not so bad, actually. And there's no way that I can turn it just straight into the liquid, so I've got to do the full processing step to make an ingot, just so I can put it in the extractor. But then that lets me put it into the large chemical reactor to get the HPIC wafer. So that's a ton more recipes for me to put through the system. I'm running out of space in the vacuum freezer. I might need to upgrade the pattern provider soon. Okay, so... oh, I need the purified sphalerite. I really should get that chemical washer so I can just manually create the... well, not manually, automatically create the purified ores. But indium concentrate, that should hopefully not take so long. Oh, it's got to make the sulfuric acid. There we go. Then the indium dust. Oh, I've put this in the wrong chemical reactor. It's on 1. Hang on, I can switch this. There we go. And there, indium dust. And I just need the indium gallium phosphide. That was much quicker. and then the HPIC wafer, but I don't have the MPIC wafer, and I don't have any of the phosphorus doped wafers, so I'm gonna need to make a bunch more of these, and they're kind of a pain to make. Okay, I should have enough to make 2 of the silicon boules. I don't think the blast furnaces are going to be in use for a bit, so then I'll just hijack one of these. Yep, and it should just be making the stuff now. It's going to take a while, but it'll make it. But then those just go in the cutter, and it should be fine. So while I wait for all the wafers, I still need to make the rest of this. Notably, the insane voltage coil. Because I need fine... Huh? I can only make fine iridium wire in the wire mill? Hang on. Yeah. Okay. That simplifies things. I also need processing for an iridium ingot. And I should just be fine. I need more pattern space in the vacuum freezer. And I need a pattern provider on the elite assembler. Just need to bring some cables over. There we go. And then I should be able to make the HPIC wafer. Just might take a little while for the vanadium gallium to go through. Oh, and then to make the wafer, I need a clean room. Oh, so close. Okay, I'm not getting that liquid vanadium gallium back. But, I don't need a large chemical reactor in here. I just need a chemical reactor. It shouldn't be too hard for me to make just an HV chemical reactor. Oh, no, I need an IV one. Nah. Okay, I might be able to make that. How do I get a huge polyethylene fluid pipe? A huge pipe. And then I'm gonna need 24 polyethylene ingots. That should be fine. Yeah, that's very quick. And I'm just gonna temporarily swap this over just so I can quickly make the pipes. But then I just need to make the rest of the components here. And that's not too bad, getting another elite chemical reactor. There. It pays off to make a recipe for all the components in advance. Then I'm going to need another energy converter and a flux point. And then I should barely be able to squeeze this in to my existing chemical reactor. Yes, if I briefly move the button to the floor, that works. And then I'm going to move the pattern provider onto there. I've got just enough cables to stretch it. And I can move the recipe over. There we go. So now, hopefully, it'll just work. Yes. It worked for the wafer, so then it should just work fine for the chip. That's not hard. It requires IV, even though it doesn't require a clean room. Okay, so what do I need for the elite cutter? I need laminated glass and tungsten carbide buzzsaw blade. The rest of it I have recipes for. So laminated glass, I should be able to get that. I need some more polyvinyl butyriol. I can get that. And then put that in the forming press to get the laminated glass. And then the tungsten carbide buzzsaw blade. What do I need for tungsten carbide? Carbon and tungsten? Sounds easy enough. And this is probably a thing I'm going to need a lot of. So I'm going to make a recipe for everything involved here. So I need 4 tungsten carbide ingots. They don't seem to be all that bad. Just need to wait on the tungsten. Then put those through the bender. Then I can make that buzzsaw blade. And then the cutter. And I should just be able to move all the recipes across, because I don't have too terribly many. And I can make those HPIC chips. There we go. That'll complete the quest. And then I can make that energy hatch. And hopefully this won't take that long. I'm mostly just waiting on the iridium to go through the blast furnace. And there we go. IV energy hatch. So now, how many of these energy hatches can I make? Let me just see. I can make another 10. I need a bit more gallium. And the MPIC wafers. Did I make a bunch of those? Oh, right, I left them in there. Well, then I should be able to make another 7. Because that's how many of the wafers I have. So I'll get that going. I'm going to need a lot more than 7, though. So then once I've finished making all of these IV energy hatches, I should be able to just start going around and upgrading a bunch of my machines to IV. I don't think I'll do all of them, because a lot of them don't really need to be. Most of this setup, I think I'll just leave it be. It's doing well enough as is, and the main bottleneck is these machines anyway. I'm not really sure why I upgraded the ore processor. Although I think if I'm going to upgrade that again, there is just an IV upgrade. So I'll just do that next time. But this is already plenty for what I need it to do. I'll need to upgrade the blast furnaces. Those are going to be very expensive. I think the multi-smelter's fine. I could have even just left this on HV. It would have been fine. I might upgrade the chemical reactors, although they're probably fast enough as is. Once I can afford the power, I'll upgrade the distillation towers. Yeah, but most of the upgrading I'm going to be doing on my own. I think the main ones right now is I'm going to upgrade all of these machines to IV. Because these I probably use more than anything else. So I'm just going to be waiting for quite a while to get all of this. Okay, this is just taking a really, really long time to go through. Each wafer is a minute, and each chip is also about a minute. I should probably try and get some lubricant soon, because that's going to speed up a lot of the recipes I have in the cutter. And it's not too hard to get. I'd probably do it with creosote and redstone in the brewery, because that's probably the most efficiency. And possibly the quickest. Yeah, even on only HV, it's 1.5 seconds for a bucket of lubricant. As opposed to the distillery and the distillation tower, they're both the same speed. It'd be half a second for 12 millibuckets. I can worry about lubricant some other time. I can just wait a little bit longer for this to go through. There we go. That's all 8 of the energy hatches I need to be able to upgrade all of these machines. So I just need to go through and swap out all of these energy hatches, and then just wire them all together. I might not have enough cables, actually. No, I don't. I'm going to need to make a bunch more shellite. I may as well massively overproduce, because I'm going to need so much of this for other wiring. I'll just connect up the machines that I've already got. I think I mostly just need the mixer. I'm just steadily going to have to turn all the shellite I've got into wires, and then slowly wire this all together. There we go. That should now be all of these multi-blocks upgraded to IV. So they should all be about twice as fast now. And I'm still making a ton more shellite, because I'm going to need probably about 60 ingots just on these blast furnaces. Maybe about 100 across the entire base. I need a lot of shellite. I probably should have upgraded the blast furnaces first so that I could make the shellite quicker, but I feel like these machines were a bit more important. They're used a lot more than the blast furnaces. Right, well, I think that's everything that I wanted to do in this video. I've got energy hatches, so that's when I feel like I'm properly in the next power tier, when I'm actually using it on most of my machines. When I see something ask for IV power and I don't have to hesitate to make it. So now pretty much everything else is opened up. I could go towards netherite if I want, and then into the large sieve. I could get new components to make more efficient circuits. I can somehow make nether star essence to then get a nether star, which apparently I needed for the circuit assembler 3. I can make the alloy blast smelter and make all of these different metals, and that should let me get pretty much every other machine as a multi-block. Assembling factory should be good, I think. Yeah, it's just an assembler. Engraving laser should be good. Circuit assembling factory, that works too, I guess. All of these machines are huge. A lot of these are repeats, like the macerator or the centrifuge. So those I can just stick with these multi-blocks. But if how strong these are to go off of, I'm going to want pretty much all of these. I've been wanting a multi-block autoclave for a very long time, because it's so slow waiting on all of the Certus quartz crystals to go through. Pretty much anything in the autoclave takes way too long. So if I can get a multi-block one, that'll be very nice. And even the ones that I already have, there's a chance that they might just be better still? I don't know. Can those multi-blocks be overclocked? Because these ones can't, but they're extremely easy to upgrade. Even if I use them in exactly the same way, these would still be really, really nice, because then I'd stop having to make every single machine when I need a new power tier. I can just keep adding ports onto the multi-blocks. They can have a lot of ports, right? Doesn't seem to have a limit on it. And they accept 2 energy hatches, so maybe? Depends. I can probably afford multiple on these, because they'd have a minimum number of casings. I don't know. I can figure it out on a machine-by-machine basis. But that's something for much later down the line. I need to think about the alloy blast smelter first. But the point is, there's a lot more in IV. And I think similar to how I had the HV baseline, where I'd make everything into an HV machine because it's easier to upgrade off of that, I might do that again for IV because of these. I don't know, that's a future thing. For now, I'm quite happy with what I've done. I've unlocked the energy hatch, so I can properly upgrade everything to IV power. We can start exploring the new IV technology next time. If there's any one thing you think I should get into first, then tell me about it, because I've got no idea where I'm going from here. But I think I'm done with this video, so yeah, that's it. Bye.